Okay, so now it's the US turn. So they will go through the exact same phases as we had for the Japanese player, starting with the return to base and the move to sea area. So currently they don't have any units at sea, neither here nor on the west coast. So okay, let's see what they can do with their fleet. They weren't really attacked by the Japanese this turn. Oh, they do have one unit here in the Coral Sea, which potentially could return to base. In order to move away, you can never move from a sea zone directly. You have to first return to base and then move away. I think it might be a good idea for this guy to start heading up to Bay of Bengal. So why don't we do, why don't this guy go 1, 2 into Darwin, and then let's have a look here. So can the U.S. do anything to protect or mess things up for the Japanese this turn? I doubt that they can. So the Japanese have units at sea here, 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 and here in the Bismarck Sea. So what we could try to do is to get rid of, if we could get rid of 2 of these fleets, maybe this fleet and this airplane here, we could actually get a point. If you remember, I have this victory condition called Pacific Domination, which requires the Japanese player to have at least 3, or the Axis in general, but Japanese in this scenario, at least 3 sea zones with units in. So yeah, maybe we should try to do that. What do we have on the west coast? The start of the scenario. We have, oh, this guy should rebase, I think. Transport. Oh, we have a fleet here as well. 3. So this one could actually move out 1, 2, 3. So they could actually move out here. It's a CV unit, so they do have some airplane, some air capability. Yeah, let's try to do that. So we'll take the 3rd fleet, leave that transport behind, so go 1, 2, 3, and then what do we have at Midway? At Hawaii we have this fleet unit here. It's not really gonna be enough though to. Yeah, but maybe we'll do that anyway. So well, we can try. This one has movement of 2, so it can go 1, 2. It can only move here actually. Can't move down to where the other Japanese fleet was. Let's move out here. This guy too. Stay with this in port. Oh, we should try to get this Lend-Lease unit into the Bay of Bengal, which is all the way over here. Because if the Allies control Burma and the Burma Road, and they have this Lend-Lease unit in the Bay of Bengal, they will be able to send production points to the Chinese. So actually I cannot do that now, I have to rebase first. So that concludes the move to sea area, and now it's sea area combat. So we have an air-to-air combat with 2 factors for the Japanese and 2 factors for the Allies. So Japanese gets a 3, that's nothing, and the Allies get a 1, which is also nothing. So nothing happens in the Micronesia sea zone. They just stay here. Okay, so after rebase air and naval unit, after sea area combat, we go to rebase air and naval units, and now we can actually try to move this Lend-Lease unit here. So it has a movement of 2, so I could move triple the movement factors, so I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 into Darwin as well. That's good. So this is a minor port, it can only handle naval units up to size 2, so the total size of these 2 is actually 2. So, because this guy is reduced. And we should rebase the Pacific transport with some cargo. Let's take the Pacific squad, naval air. So each transport, yeah, I think I told you this, but it can carry twice the size that it has itself. So this guy can carry size 2 units. So just take that and go to West Coast, Northeast Pacific, and then into Midway. And that will be good. Then I can actually go into Micronesia on either the Blitz phase or the next turn. Okay, so now they've done the rebase air and naval units. Now we have move land units. I wonder if they should, yeah, they should definitely do that. We have some units here in India that should try to go up and protect Burma here. But as I said, this is a swamp here, so it actually costs double, so it costs 2 to move in here. And this is a land movement factor 2, so it can move 1, 2, and that's it. Do we want to do anything with the Chinese? I don't think so. This area here is not super important to keep. Could actually leave it empty to be able to defend better next turn. On the other hand, then they can move in and then attack directly without doing a blitz. So yeah, let's just leave it like that. There's no combat. No land area combat in this case. Okay, so now we do blitzes. So the Japanese start, and if we do we can do a partial blitz only because we only have 1 oil. In a partial blitz, you either do naval, land, or air. In this case, I guess the most natural thing to do would be a naval, and then you do the return to base and move to sea area for as many units as you want. If you do land blitz, you can move as many land units as you want and declare combats. We can also do a free blitz and save our oil. Let's see. If we were the Japanese, what would we do here? So we have taken both resources in South China Sea. And we've blocked Singapore, so they can't move through here anymore. Something that is really annoying is when the US starts to load up stuff in this sea area here. One thing that we could do is try to take New Britain. Oh, that actually we cannot, because that will require land area combat. And we only have one oil, so we can move into this sea zone, but we can't really do a naval invasion this turn. We could prepare for it though. Where do we have our transports? We have one there, and one in the South China Sea. We can't really move back with lots of units. Yeah, but we can, let's see, let's do like this. Rebase this guy. I think we'll just do a free blitz actually and save the oil for next turn. So we cannot really move away with this transport here, because if we don't have units at sea in at least 3 sea areas, then potentially this guy could get retreated. Oh, sorry, this guy was at midway. Because then they could blitz out here, and then yeah, we're pretty safe if we keep it like this, I think. I don't want to give the United States any points, victory points at this point. So we've moved a unit of size 1. We can actually move 2 more units if we want to. Where's this fleet? It wasn't over there. 1, 2. Yeah, you can't go up to. What I could do is and then go out here. Oh, sorry. Actually go out here, but that's 2 size units that I've moved, and then we could load this guy up here. And that's 3. What I want to do is I want to move in. So in Harbin, you need to keep, as a Japanese, you need to keep at least 2 steps all the time. Because otherwise the Russians will invade. So in this scenario, that's handled by explicitly stating that you have to keep 2 size, a size, combined size of 2 at least all the time in Harbin. What I want to do is to replace this quantum army with something like these small garrisons, so that I can move down the quantum army into China. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Or should I just? Yeah, let's do it like that. Okay, so then that's a free blitz, no oil expended. And now it's the US turn. They have plenty of oil, so they should probably just go ahead and do a naval blitz. And while we're at it, why don't we go out? Yeah, it's annoying. I should try to block Bay of Bengal somehow as the Japanese, but now the US will do a naval blitz, so they can first return to base and then start moving out. So they won't do any return to base. This guy can go to Bay of Bengal. this guy could follow. And now they could do this freshly arrived airplane can go out into the sea area here, and maybe that's it. Can the US do anything else? Oh yeah, nice expended one oil, which we can't forget. Okay, so there's the sea area combat here again, and now we have first a naval air. The Allies have 3, 4, 5. Japanese have 2, but this aircraft here is a plus triangle, so they get 3. So 3 versus 5. Oh, the Japanese gets a 6 on the 3, and the US gets a 1 on the 5 column. So the 1 doesn't do anything. A small retreat is 1/3, and 1/3 of 1 unit is rounded to 0, so no retreat. And there's 6 result on the 3 column there. That's going to be 1 loss, and 1 unit has to retreat. Okay, doesn't really matter here. I think I will just take a loss on the 3rd fleet and rebase it to Hawaii. Okay, and that concludes the first turn, and now we're gonna build some units.